Hey guys, I guess I'm live. We'll get this down, I promise. Um, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I know that you have a lot of questions. I'm hoping that this is going right because I promise I'll get better at this, I promise. But right now I have so many people that are constantly saying when you're going to do your radio show again, and I think those days might be over. So I thought we might try to do it on Facebook. What do you think? My test run, so many of you wrote in and you said you loved it. So here I am for the picking, right for the picking. So y'all get to decide what you want to talk about. Um, I don't know what you want to talk about, but I can tell you that it's a rainy night in Georgia. So it's been raining all day off and on, and so my hair looks a little plugged in. I can tell you what my favorite hair product is for the frizzies, but then you'd wonder why I hadn't used it. So let's talk about something a little more important, like maybe, I don't know, the lady that just left wanted to talk about menopause. She was doing the, what do you call that when they do the compound? Bioidentical, that's it. She was doing the bioidentical, and I might be wrong, but I think we're going to end up coming back and saying maybe that wasn't so perfect. I know that my favorite approach is Newton's menopause drops. Now, because I'm a doctor, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm a naturopath, a doctor of natural health, but I think a homeopathic approach is better than an herbal approach. Hey, Tammy Faye. So I just saw if my friend is listening. Her name's not really Tammy Faye, but I've always called her Tammy Faye because she has giant eyes. Back to the menopause issue. I really, even though I have a health food store, Sweet Basil's health food store in South Georgia, and so I've got lots of herbal approaches to menopause, but I don't think they work as well as the homeopathic. The homeopathic is a better approach because all it does is balance your hormones, doesn't push. So my sister is a breast cancer survivor. I actually discovered these menopause drops by Newton because of her breast cancer. But I can tell you that the pro version of it, the one in my office, is a little stronger. So if you're anywhere around and you can make an appointment with me, then that's a better approach. But if you need to get the one in the store, then that's okay too. Or if you need to make a telephone consult, you can make a telephone consult with me. But the idea behind the homeopathic one is that instead of pushing estrogen or pushing progesterone or pushing testosterone, it just balances where you are. And that makes a whole lot more sense to me. Okay? Let's see. Oh, hi, Apostle Brown. So nice to see you again, and thank you for coming in and bringing your lovely wife. If you hadn't worn perfume, you would have gotten a big old hug. Okay, well, since we've got a gentleman calling in, I think that I would also address the testosterone issue. Now, that is not Apostle Brown's question, but I'm just saying that to me, the testosterone thing's kind of similar. Though their hormones are not like ours, it's not like it's a balancing act. I do have a homeopathic testosterone, so it's a lot safer. But I actually my favorite thing for testosterone is actually a cream that is works like the cream you get prescription, but the cream prescription they've proven can actually cause cancer. So I kind of don't like the real hormone cream, but there's a cream I think it's called Testramax. We have it by a couple of different people, so just call the store and you can find out about it's not very cheap. It's not inexpensive at all. But it might be worth it because compared to the drug, I understand it's still inexpensive. Okay. Also, another question that I get a whole lot. Actually, someone just handed me this one, so they called the store instead of Facebook. I don't know what that's about. Okay, it's about ADD. I really love it when you bring me those children. I love it because those children, um, those children, when I get to meet them, I get to tell them that, well, y'all already see me acting like, what's that children's show, Squirrel, where I'm so OCD and so ADD and all of those D's. The bottom line is they didn't have that term when I was in school. But the reason I like to meet the children is because I want them to hear me say, and now I'm a doctor. Because I really made A's and F's all my life, and I'm glad the children aren't listening right now. But when I meet the children, it makes it easier for me to figure out which one to give them, because it really has a lot to do with age and a lot to do with their personality, because some children are a lot more mature than others. You get the point. There's lots of different approaches to ADD. Here at the store, we have some that are for little children. I like a product called Calm Child, but as they get to be a little bit older, then it kind of quits working. And then the one that we use, the Hypericom or Hypercom, I think it's called. Yes, Hypercom. I always get Hypericom and Hypercom confused. It's Hypercom, again, a homeopathic by Newton. I really like that product, but it quit working on my niece and my granddaughter around 8 years old. So I say that one's not so good for any older than that. And then I have one that I like for children that are a little bit older, and I really like that product. It's by Buried Treasure, called Added Attention. Anyway, you get the gist. It keeps going. But I don't want to keep rattling. What do y'all want to talk about? Somebody write me, oh, here's another one. Okay, good. Somebody wants to know, what do I think about what's the best approach to fibromyalgia? Well, I think it's actually a serotonin deficiency, and I know what product works best, but that's not really the point. The product I've seen work best was really the Source Natural, again a Source Natural product, magnesium malate. That particular form of magnesium can be taken during the day because it has no bowel issues, but also that particular one, I've seen some, we've carried it by 5 or 6 different people, and it's weird that the cheapest one is the one that seems to work the best. So I kind of like that too. I like the fact that we can tell you there's a difference in quality that has nothing to do with the name brand, seems to actually do with the product. I'm not good at this just because I've been doing it so long, but I've been doing it I think it's actually 37 years, but I know it's over 30. But that's not why I'm good at it. And it's not because I'm so darn smart, though I did get my doctorate at 50 with a 4.0. I really believe that it's because God told me all I had to do was dress out and show up. So here I am. Y'all asked me some questions. Oh, here's one. Okay, leg cramps. Leg cramps, I get kind of crazy the way people want to get rid of the symptom of leg cramps, because the symptom's not the issue. Leg cramps, I think, are God's way of telling us something's not right. I really like the Bluebonnet magnesium, potassium, bromelain. You got to get the right dose for yourself, so be sure and ask me about the dosing. But the magnesium, potassium, bromelain seems to be the product that works the best. I know it's a magnesium issue, and probably any kind of magnesium is going to help. It's just that particular magnesium seems to work better, even better than the other magnesium malates. So go figure. Another reason why I like that particular one is because that particular form of magnesium, besides not causing any stomach issues or bowel issues, it also chelates to heavy metal. So it can prevent Alzheimer's. I mean, really, how cool is that? It chelates to aluminum specifically. And I believe it's mercury also. Chelates to aluminum and mercury. Okay, I didn't think it was going to be hard to just talk nonstop for 30 minutes. And those of you who are my friends who's watching this, you're saying, no, you can talk much longer than that. So what do y'all want to talk about? Okay, there's another one. Okay, acid reflux. That's a good one. Okay, acid reflux. I really, there's lots and lots of products out there for acid reflux. We probably carry at least 10, 12 products for acid reflux, but it's just a balancing of your pH. So why not take the one thing that you need to take, which is the best thing that you could take would be, in my opinion, Bluebonnet acidophilus. Now they've got a new one out. They've got a new one. Those of you who are clients of mine or friends of mine, you know that I make you take way more than the label said of the Bluebonnet one, but the new one, the new Bluebonnet, is a single dose. Yay! And the single dose is still Bluebonnet, and it is the first one on the market that shows that they can do a DNA verified, I think is the way Eileen said it. DNA verified. Okay, what that means in English is that they can tell you exactly where that came from. I love that concept, okay? Because I'm always saying that Bluebonnet's products are not just better because of, I wish I couldn't see myself. It'd be better, what if I could turn my picture off? Then I wouldn't get so distracted. I say that Bluebonnet is not better because the guys are cute, though that helps. The Bluebonnet boys are cute. And I say that Bluebonnet's not better because the guys are funny, and they are funny. But I say that Bluebonnet is better because you can trust the quality in the bottle. When those guys say that something's there, it's there. They're strong believers, and they're honest, and they're honorable. And if they say it's in the bottle, it's in the bottle. So, the new Bluebonnet acidophilus single dose might be my favorite approach to acid reflux. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't think you should buy products for acid reflux. I think you should just get your good bacteria up, and when you've got enough good bacteria going on, and then the good guys win. That's really the bottom line. That's really the... Hi, Jackie. So y'all need to... Jackie, where have you been? Look at your pretty face. I miss you. You need to come see me. Okay, what else? What was that? I can't read it. Oh, memory. I should have taken some. I got a spray. Where's my spray? My spray. Hang on. Here's my spray. I say that I use this in between clients, and right before church, and right before Rotary. Okay, Jackie, I'm going to answer your question in just a moment. But I wanted to talk about memory. I wanted to talk about memory because when I went back to school at 50, now God has a real sense of humor to send me back to school at 50, okay, for my doctorate. When I went back to school, I tried everything. I mean, everything. And none of them really worked. Yeah, I told Jackie I was going to answer in just a second. When I went back to school, I knew I was too old. I mean, many of you have heard that story. This box arrives with medical books in it, and the box was like the size of my desk, and I call them and say, what's up with the giant box? I couldn't even read the books. They were so hard. And they said, oh, what's your name again? And when I told them, they said, oh, you're in the doctorate program. So we couldn't send you but a small portion of the books or it would overwhelm you. So I cried. So when I'm telling you that it was really, 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 really hard, it really, really, really was. Okay? So I tried everything, including some real expensive ones. But the one that worked was the Bluebonnet Power Thought. And I've kind of stayed on that for years. I do sometimes when I've had a hard day like today, and maybe we should try doing this live at a different time other than when I've been working all day, but y'all have been working too, so maybe you're slow to hear. Anyway, the power thought, I have an article on that. I wonder if I could find that. No, I can't off this computer. I have an article on power thought where I explain that a couple of the components actually repair the memory component of the brain, and some other components of it work on reducing stress, which of course was a big issue about going back to school that old. And the other issue was, one actually restores memory loss of up to 18 years. And I remember making the joke of, could I choose which 18 years? Sorry. Okay, you had a question about skin on the legs. Okay. Circulation. Okay. I know that you are a water drinker. So, let's talk about water a second. I mean, a lot of people that drink water don't understand they're to drink half their body weight in water, in ounces of water. So even people that think they're drinking a lot of water might not be drinking enough. That's where I would first start. The second place I would look would be to see if I was eating something that I was allergic to. The first step is, to make sure that you're drinking your water. The second step, I really think you make sure that you've got your hormones balanced, which in my opinion would be the pro-menopause drops. And then the next place I would look would be food allergies. You're not really saying dry skin everywhere, you're just saying on your legs. So that just kind of implies that it might be circulatory. But there again, and Jackie, I know you know not to eat sugar. She's saying she drinks 100 ounces a day. I thought you did, Jackie, because you have such beautiful skin, and you can tell who's the water drinkers by the skin. And when my granddaughter was, from the time she was about 4 years old, I would say, now why do we drink our water? And she'd say, to have beautiful skin, Mimi. And I go, that's exactly right. So you got to brainwash them early, because most people don't drink water at all. So Jackie, I know you drink water, so it's not water. So are you taking the Omega Brain? Got to make sure you got the Omega Brain, because the Omega Brain is super, super important that you're getting enough oil on the inside. And that is highly possible. But if you're eating sugar, then you're blowing your whole circulatory system, because sugar increases inflammation, and inflammation is at the root of all disease. As far as topical, I think I would probably use calendula. My favorite one is, I can't remember the name of it. It's in that yellow tube. That would be my favorite. Just call up here at the store and they'll tell you which one, but any form of calendula probably helps. Hi, Tiff. Aunt Charlene loves you. Okay. Yes, Jackie's fessing up. Jackie's fessing up that she does indeed eat sugar. Okay. Well, because we've been losing a lot of our friends lately, and I get pretty stressed out about it, because they're friends that didn't listen to me. Friends where I tried to tell them that they needed to stop sugar and they didn't, and I have 3 of them I've lost so far now, and it hurts my feelings. I know it's not my responsibility, but David and I have been talking a lot lately about people's decisions, that I am not responsible for other people's decisions, and I get that. So I have to just let it go. But I said to him that I don't think that people are just being rebellious about it. I really think that they don't believe me. That's what I think. I think they don't believe me. So I set somebody up. I don't want to say too much in case some local people in South Georgia are watching, but I set somebody up who is a former president of Rotary, who had come to see me, and I knew that he had had some heart issues, and I said, did you watch Fox News this morning? He goes, no, I didn't. What'd I miss? And I said, well, this famous cardiologist said that he had been telling people the wrong thing all these years, and that the bottom line is that the whole issue is inflammation. He goes, no, I heard that. He said, but what do you think causes inflammation? And I said, sugar. He said, you got me. So I think that what it is that I try not to talk too much about it because it makes people so mad. My family would say that I don't try not to talk too much about it. But it seems to me like I do. It seems to me like I try really, really hard, and the amount that comes out is just minor compared to the part of what I wanted to say, which is, I'd rather you do a line of cocaine or heroin than to do sugar, because sugar causes inflammation, and inflammation is at the root of all disease. So if you believed me, surely you would stop. Okay? I really feel like the first thing you should do is question, have I ever really stopped sugar? So stop sugar, Jackie, and let's see, okay? You've heard this from me for years. Maybe that's why we haven't been having lunch. No, I know that's not true, Jackie. I do miss you. I know you've been working. I do miss you. I might even would meet you halfway somewhere because I miss you. Okay, now where was that? Oh, somebody that wants to talk about, oh, Tiff, I'm sorry, baby. No. You don't. You have to come off of sugar. Sugar is the number one drug. I get so upset because when you go to AA meetings or NA meetings or any of the A meetings, that unless you're going to an OA meeting, they're not going to tell you that sugar is a drug. And I meet diabetic people all the time, and nobody's told them don't eat sugar. But sugar is the cause of inflammation. And inflammation is at the root of all disease. So I figure if we say it over and over and over and over and over, then maybe somebody would hear it. And it's funny because a friend of mine from Alabama, when I was doing my call-in live, well, it was a Skype thing. I guess this is pretty close to Skype, only we're reaching more people, right? But when I had somebody Skyping in from Alabama into one of my weight loss seminars. Those of you who don't know me, I'm is what it's saying. Let's hope it didn't mean that. I hope y'all all can still hear me because it sent me an ugly little note. But now where was I? Golly gee, I have no idea. I've read 2. See, this is what I was afraid of, that I'd get distracted by all of y'all's notes. Anyway, you get the point about the sugar. Oh, call it the Skype into my weight loss seminar. And see, to me, it's kind of dangerous when you're perfect and gorgeous like Tiffany. Then you think, well, I don't need to quit sugar because I don't have a weight issue. To me, that's the scariest thing in the whole world because it has nothing to do with weight. I'm talking about the drug that pinches off things in your brain. It causes inflammation. So imagine inflammation in the brain. Now you're talking heart disease and arthritis and Alzheimer's and breast cancer and so many things. So please, I'm begging y'all, please stop the sugar. Okay, and we can talk about how to stop the sugar. That was the first question I got, how to stop the sugar. So I'll try real hard to backtrack and pick that one up. I tell people just stop. That's your best approach. But there is an amino acid you can take that helps reduce your craving for sugar. Okay? Hopefully you'll get it from me because I'm a doctor that doesn't charge, married to a full-time missionary. So we need you to shop with us. But that amino acid is L-glutamine. And we ship all over the world and don't charge shipping and handling. Okay, so Jackie, you had something else to say. Oh, you were saying something about the omega. The doctor told you to get off the omega. Oh, yeah. I have to agree. I did too much of it myself. So you might have enough oil. You might have enough, so that might not be the issue. It's probably the sugar. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to hear that. Oh, you did say, do I have anything to help you get off sugar? Okay. You cold turkey it like anything else, and then after about 24 hours, you don't want it. Now, I know some of you listening, and we won't call names, but I know some of you listening are like, sure, if you could just cold turkey it, you would. But I'm just telling you that sugar is one of those guys that it's probably better to cold turkey it. You don't have to talk to me about addiction, because I was a heavy smoker, and those of you who have known me forever know when I say heavy smoker, I mean 4 packs a day. I literally smoked 4 packs a day. And people would say, you mean you let it burn in an ashtray? No, I was in the car and I lit one after the other. So after not smoking for 5 years, a friend of mine's son committed suicide. She handed me her lit cigarette, and it was during a time, and those of you who are much younger than us can't even relate to this, but there was a time that quitting smoking made you the enemy. Okay? So it wasn't the right time to say, hey, I quit smoking. But one puff of that cigarette, and I bought a carton the next day. So the best way to quit sugar is just quit sugar. Okay? But if you need help, L-glutamine powder will give you directions. Okay? So if you're addicted to sugar, okay. Hi, Tina. Hi. Okay, what's my approach to mental illness? Well, I know this is so crazy, but we're right back to where we started. Sugar's your enemy. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is I think you have to take into consideration that most of us are children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren of alcoholics and crazy people. Well, maybe not everybody, but I don't know. My friend Deborah, where is Deborah? Why is she not tuned in? Okay, my friend Deborah is, that I go to Dallas, and I'm in her clinic now, the Council of Families for Children. I always get that part mixed up, I'm sorry. She can just rattle off some of these statistics. Deborah Rose, if you're listening and you're watching, please take the time to write in that question. I really want you to tell me those statistics. It was something crazy like 1 in 4 of every family is actually diagnosed with mental illness. But then it was something like that if you figure out how it affects everyone else, it's every one of us. So I think that's a super great question, Tammy. I think step number 1 is to stop the sugar, because that's alcohol, and alcohol is sugar, and sugar is alcohol. Don't get me wrong. Many of you know, and forgive me, those of you who don't believe in drinking, but I think dry red wine is actually good for you. But I do have a glass of dry red wine every day. But I'm just saying that that's the only sugar I do, and I do it with red meat because my blood type is O. So I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just saying that I think step number 1 is to make sure that your sugar and alcohol is really at a bare minimum. And step number 2, my approach is I really like the serotonin. Now, you have to be a client of mine, but you know there's no charge for that, so why would you not want to be? But you can call and make an appointment with me, and then I can prescribe the dopamine serotonin or the serotonin, because that one is prescription, though it's crazy cheap, and it's just a homeopathic. But the serotonin receptor site in the brain, it's only received when you also include the proper amount of B vitamins. And those of us who are children of alcoholics do not get, we're not able to extract our B vitamins. We're not able to extract our B vitamins from our food. So you need the B vitamins, you need the, you also need the EPA and DHA. That's the fish oil. But back to something Jackie said, some of us can have enough fish oil. I know that sounds crazy, but I know for a fact Jackie's been taking it forever, and she's been taking a good high quality one. And because of bruising, oh, Jackie, I just developed a new product where we'll have it in about 3 weeks. It's called Thin Skin, and I'm hoping that that's going to make a difference. See, I have one of those old lady marks, and I shouldn't have that. So I'm bringing in this product. It'll be about 3 weeks before it's ready, but I stopped my omega-2. So, Tammy, to answer your question, I think the most important part is reduce the sugar, reduce the alcohol, and to take something for your serotonin. Your brain knows if it's chemical, if it's a drug, or if it's natural. So I like the homeopathic approach, and also the inositol, IP6 is actually what it is that makes the the particular B vitamin that makes the serotonin receptor site work better. But see, those of you who are taking prescription antidepressants, just adding the other two components makes it work better. Okay, oh great. Oh, thank you, Jackie. I think that's it, guys. Are we? Yay, and 1 minute. Yay! So maybe we'll try this again. Tell me what you think, guys. Thanks for being there. God bless you. Bye-bye. Oops, wrong. I think I have to hit finish.